For years, Sam Lovegrove quietly became the heart of Shed and Buried, armed with nothing but a wrench, sharp wit, and a mind full of vintage bike knowledge. Viewers tuned in to see him and Henry Cole dig up hidden gems, breathe life into forgotten classics, and banter like brothers. But midway through Season 4, Sam disappeared. No farewell episode, no explanation, just silence. And with that silence came questions. Where did he go? Why did he leave? Theories surfaced, but answers didn't. Because Sam's story goes deeper than fans ever knew. Behind the closed doors of his Cornish workshop lies more than just tools and old engines. There's a mystery waiting to be uncovered. Sam Lovegrove's name rings bells for anyone into classic motorcycles. He's known for his sharp eye, hands-on engineering skills, and deep love for breathing life back into old-school bikes. Most people recognize him from shows like Shed and Buried or Find It, Fix It, Drive It, where he brings forgotten machines back from the dead with nothing but a few tools and a lot of know-how. But before the cameras and fan base, Sam's story was already in motion, one built on curiosity, grit, and a lifelong obsession with machines. Growing up in the West Country of England, Sam was always that kid. While other kids were outside kicking a ball around, he was in the shed, elbow deep in engine parts, figuring out what made things tick. That natural fascination with all things mechanical didn't come from formal training at first. It started with him teaching himself how to strip down and rebuild bikes, piece by piece, until they roared back to life. School came easy when it came to the technical stuff. He was sharp with numbers, strong in physics, and eventually took that brainpower to Oxford Brookes University, where he studied mechanical engineering. He didn't just scrape by. He graduated with honors, bringing both book smarts and real-world experience together in a way that made him stand out. By the time most people were still figuring out what they wanted to do, Sam was already deep into restoring vintage motorcycles. He wasn't just fixing machines, he was keeping pieces of history alive. Word got around. People noticed his dedication, his skill, and soon doors started opening, but becoming a TV personality wasn't exactly part of the plan. Sam Lovegrove started out in a much more hands-on way, working as a design engineer at Gemini Accident Repair Centers Limited. His focus back then? Getting the mechanics right, fine-tuning suspensions and gearboxes across a range of vehicles. But this wasn't just garage tinkering. It was serious engineering, the kind of work that quietly laid the foundation for everything that would shape the next chapter of his life. After Gemini, he stepped into something a little more high-octane, joining Honda Performance Development as a development engineer. That's where things really started to heat up. He worked on some seriously impressive machines, like the sleek Honda NSX and the beastly Corvette C7R Le Mans cars. And he didn't stop there. Sam also lent his skills as a consultant engineer to major players like Aston Martin, Jaguar, and Lotus. At that point, he wasn't just good. He was becoming one of those behind-the-scenes legends in the world of performance vehicles. Then came the twist. Somewhere along the way, Sam crossed paths with Henry Cole. Now, Henry wasn't just another motorcycle guy. He was a TV presenter with a deep love for two wheels and a real mission to change how people saw motorcyclists. He had this quirky charm, a bit of a rebellious streak, and a big heart for vintage bikes. The moment Henry met Sam, he realized this engineer had more than just skills. He had presence. There was something about the way Sam explained things, the way he made even the most complex mechanical stuff feel simple and approachable. So Sam found himself on camera for the first time, joining Henry on a motorbike show. And it just worked. Viewers instantly connected with him. He was just being himself, clever, calm, and clearly in love with the craft. That's how the motorbike show came to life, with a chemistry that made it more than just another bike series. The show quickly became a favorite among motorcycle fans. It had everything: bike restorations, intense races, throwbacks to legendary motorcycles, fun interviews, and unforgettable road trips. But what really set it apart was how genuine it felt. Henry's deep passion mixed with Sam's knowledge gave the show a kind of soul. It wasn't just about bikes, it was about the stories behind them, the history, the connection people have with these machines. In the second season's opening episode, Henry got to ride the ultra-rare Bro Superior Supersports, and later he tackled the infamous Yellow Peril, a 1960 Norton Commando production racer that tested his skills like never before. By season 7, fans got a real treat, watching Henry and Sam breathe life back into a classic WLC Harley, while the iconic Enfield Bullet made its return in episodes 3 and 4. Sam had a knack for it. He could take the messiest, most technical jobs, the kind that left your hands black with grease, and explain them in a way that just made sense. That down-to-earth approach didn't just earn him respect, it built a real following. The motorbike show took off, and its success opened the door for what came next. Shed and Buried. All across the UK, tucked away in old sheds and barns, there's a treasure trove of forgotten vehicles just waiting to be brought back to life. And that's exactly what Henry Cole and Sam Lovegrove have made it their mission to do. From classic motorbikes and vintage cars to rusty tractors and even boats, these two are on a journey to uncover and restore the country's mechanical history, one dusty shed at a time. If they can make a bit of money along the way by flipping these finds, even better. Britain's known for its eccentric characters, and plenty of them can be found tinkering in backyard workshops. Henry and Sam fit right into that world. Henry, a biker at heart with a sharp eye for a deal, brings charm and energy to the hunt. Sam, the mechanical genius, can take just about anything with an engine and make it purr again. Together, they make a perfect team. One's the deal maker, the other's the fixer. But their adventures aren't always smooth. Henry's fast-talking enthusiasm often lands them in hot water. He's been known to snap up a vehicle before Sam's even had the chance to give it a proper once-over. On the flip side, Sam's tendency to get sidetracked by machines he just wants for himself can throw them off course. Their banter, the tension, and the occasional clash only add to the fun of watching them in action. One memorable moment came when they visited Eddie Roberts' collection in Leicester. The spotlight was on a rare 1962 Greaves Sportsman. The seller wanted far more than what it was worth, and Sam wasn't having it. He called out the issues straight away and refused to overpay. That negotiation, caught on camera, turned into a highlight of the 2016 season. Some viewers thought they were being stingy, but Sam stood his ground, saying he was protecting the true value of vintage machines. That bold move only brought more attention to the show. Later, down in Cornwall, they stumbled on a shed packed with decaying farm gear. Hidden in the mess was a Ferguson TE20 tractor, barely holding itself together. Sam saw the potential instantly. He took it apart piece by piece, rebuilt it from the ground up, and transformed it into a smooth-running beauty. When they sold it at auction, it fetched a solid price and proved that these two weren't just entertainers. They were serious restorers who knew how to turn rust into gold. Another standout moment came in Northern Ireland. On a quiet farm, buried under hay and forgotten by time, they uncovered a batch of military vehicles, including a Land Rover that had seen real action. Sam immediately recognized its historical value. He led the restoration, carefully preserving its original parts. When it was finally sold to a collector, it pulled in a hefty sum. But not everyone was happy. The farmer who'd owned it accused the pair of downplaying its value to snag a deal. While Henry addressed the controversy in the press, Sam stayed silent, letting his work speak for itself. As the show grew in popularity, so did their fan base. People were drawn to the chemistry between Henry and Sam. Henry with his charisma Sam, with his unshakable knowledge and no-nonsense approach. Shed and Buried became a favorite not just because of the cool finds, but because of the friendship and friction at its heart. Sam, in particular, stood out. His real love for restoring old bikes, combined with a humble, no-nonsense attitude, quickly made him a favorite with viewers. He wasn't just another mechanic on TV, he became a trusted name in the world of vintage vehicle restoration. After Shed and Buried took off, Sam didn't hit the brakes. He kept the momentum going alongside his longtime collaborator, Henry Cole. Together, they launched another hit series, Find It, Fix It, Drive It. This time, their shared passion for vintage machines went even deeper, turning forgotten relics into road-ready classics. Each episode was like watching two old friends set out on a wild road trip with a mission: find a forgotten vehicle, fix it up, and put it through some outrageous test. It always kicked off the same way. They'd head out across the country, rummaging through barns, garages, and sheds, hunting for the perfect relic to restore. Once they got their hands on something promising, the clock started ticking. Sam would get under the hood, sorting out all the technical bits, while Henry leaned on his wide network of experts to bring the project together. But the real magic happened at the end of each episode. That's when they took their freshly revived vehicle out for its big moment, often in a challenge that tested more than just horsepower. Whether it was competing in a plowing contest with a vintage tractor, rebuilding a legendary 70s motorbike for a major custom show, or tearing around the old banked track at Brooklands in a classic race car, every finale felt like a celebration of hard work, history, and heart. What made the show stand out wasn't just the grease and gears, it was the chemistry. Sam brought serious mechanical expertise, while Henry added infectious energy and a knack for storytelling. Together, they turned a simple restoration series into something more, a story of friendship, adventure, and a shared passion for reviving forgotten machines. That's what kept viewers coming back. But just as everything hit its stride, the rhythm suddenly broke. In the second half of Shed and Buried's fourth season, fans couldn't help but notice something was off. Sam Lovegrove was nowhere to be seen. It didn't take long for people to start asking questions. Why was he missing? Had he left for good? The show didn't offer many clues, so the mystery only grew. Then, in March 2022, Henry Cole stepped in with a bit of an update. He shared a video explaining that Sam had been under the weather. Some kind of bug had hit him, and that was the main reason for his absence. But beyond that, details were scarce. Nobody knew if Sam was taking a short break or stepping away from the show entirely. Even though Sam wasn't on the show anymore, one thing stayed the same: his bond with Henry. In November 2022, Henry made a trip down to Cornwall to catch up with his old friend. The two spent time talking, laughing, and diving into Sam's latest vintage vehicle projects. They even filmed the visit and shared it with fans, giving everyone a behind-the-scenes look at Sam's life off-camera. It was clear from that video that while he might have stepped back from the show, his passion for old machines and his friendship with Henry was still running strong. Most people know Sam Lovegrove from his time on television, but that's just scratching the surface. Away from the cameras, he's quietly built a reputation as a serious force in motorcycle engineering, especially through his work with the iconic British brand Brew Superior. And this isn't just any motorcycle company. Brew Superior is known for producing some of the most exclusive, high-performance bikes in the world. And Sam, he's been right at the center of it all. When Brew Superior was brought back to life in 2013, after first being founded way back in 1919, Sam stepped in as the lead engineer. He wasn't just putting bikes together, he was helping to reimagine a legacy, bringing the spirit of the original machines into the modern age. Working closely with company owner Mark Upham and the rest of the team, Sam played a key role in designing custom-built motorcycles that lived up to the name's iconic status. These bikes weren't just beautiful, they performed, and they performed hard. Take the Bro Superior 11cc, for example. This beast entered the 1350 APS VF class and quickly made waves. On its first run, it clocked in at 110 mph and then hit 116 882 on the return, averaging 113.668 mph and smashing a brand new AMA record. Later in the week, after some fine-tuning and streamlining tweaks, the bike entered a different class, the 1350 AVF, and it flew. First run, 122.61 mph. Second, 126.075 mph. Final average, 124.3334 mph. Another AMA record in the bag. That final run turned out to be the last motorcycle pass of the whole competition, cut short by a sudden downpour that sent everyone scrambling for cover. The rider, Eric Patterson, and the team's chief engineer, Alistair Gibson, couldn't have been happier. And what made it all even more impressive? That engine was actually smaller than what the class allowed. But the real star of the show was a bike nicknamed the Baby Pendine. It was a 700cc machine, prepped and fine-tuned by Sam himself. This one wasn't just fast, it was record-breaking. Ridden by renowned motorcycle journalist Alan Cathcart, the Baby Pendine set 2 FIM world records and 2 AMA records during its time on the Salt. The first run was more of a shakedown at 97.60 mph, but on the return, Alan opened it up and hit 105.004 mph, averaging 101.328 mph and locking in a spot in the record books. Then came Henry Cole, TV presenter turned racer, who threw his hat into the ring on the Baby Pendine as well. It was his first time ever racing on the Salt Flats, but he rode like he'd been doing it his whole life. Battling a fierce crosswind and a sketchy tank slapper, he managed to clock 104.298 mph in the flying kilometer and 103.941 mph in the flying mile, earning himself an AMA record in the 750 AVF class. And after standing in line for nearly 3 hours to get his shot, the moment felt even sweeter for both Henry and Sam. Conditions grew tougher as the day went on. The Salt Flats held firm, but the wind turned unpredictable. Time was tight. They had to get Henry's bike inspected and down to the starting line, and they only just made it. But Sam wasn't on the sidelines. He was right in the thick of it, testing, checking, and ensuring every bike met the strict standards for safety and reliability. His work on machines like the Bro Superior SS100 helped earn him a reputation as a master craftsman in the world of motorcycle restoration and design. Despite his TV appearances and deep roots in the motorcycle scene, Sam Lovegrove is the kind of person who stays under the radar when the cameras aren't rolling. Away from the spotlight, he leads a quiet life in the Cornish countryside, tucked away in a farmhouse with his wife and 4 kids. It's more than just a peaceful home. It's also where he keeps a sprawling workshop filled with vintage vehicles, a space that's equal parts sanctuary and playground for his lifelong passion. When he's not filming, Sam spends most of his time with his family or buried in his restoration projects, the kind he does purely for the love of it. His connection to motorcycles and machines runs deep. This isn't just a job for him. It's been part of who he is for as long as anyone can remember. That hands-on work, that curiosity about how things tick, it's what drives him day in and day out. Right now, he might not be showing up on episodes of Shed and Buried like he used to, but Sam still holds weight in the world of classic vehicles. His skills as an engineer, mixed with that laid-back charm he brings to the screen, have earned him serious respect both on TV and off. Whether or not he returns to television anytime soon, there's no doubt he'll keep playing a big role in the car and motorcycle scene. Over the years, Sam has grown from a guy who loved tinkering with bikes to a well-loved figure in the engineering world. He's built a name for himself, not just through talent, but through his honesty, his passion, and his ability to breathe new life into old machines. Even if he's not front and center on screen right now, his influence is still felt. Sam Lovegrove's story, one built on skill, love for the craft, and staying true to himself, continues to inspire fans, gearheads, and fellow restorers across the world.